Good morning, moms. Happy Sunday. Hello. I got a good one for y'all. It is Sunday morning, and I was in the middle of my morning routine that I start early on Sunday, and because everyone else is asleep, okay? And I thought there was something else I wanted to do in the morning before everybody wakes up, and that was talk to you. So I'm going to be on here for a little bit. I was making myself a cup of tea, and I was like, you know what, I gotta talk to moms. I gotta talk to my people, all right? So I'm gonna put this water on. We're gonna talk about this important topic, right? My students last night, we had a good conversation, okay? I had one high school student and one middle school student, 8th grade, and they're both girls. And we were supposed to be working on reading comprehension, okay? But we had a good conversation, okay? But my program is designed to improve children's behavior and academics at the same time. Literacy, math, learning, strategize and combine both. So most of the time, you know, we go over the rules of the program, and I coach my students, and I work with them on their reading, writing, math, spelling, and then if they are struggling with something particular in school, we work on it during class, or I schedule a one-on-one meeting. Sometimes topics come up that we need to really get into and dive in for their growth, okay, to grow their thinking, all right? So last night, I have to introduce myself in case you don't already know who I am. And feel free to leave comments below or like and share. This one is real. This is going to be about this is going to be about mothers and daughters, okay? All right, that wedge. Last night I did a live on ways to listen to and connect with our children. So this is more than fitting. But my name is Sharita. I am the Behavior and Learning Strategist coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and learning challenges, okay? I've been working for years. Actually, I started when I was a kid myself. I'm the oldest of 7 children, taking care of children. And then I went to college, and amongst other things, other jobs that I had, I went to college, and I studied social work. I became a mental health specialist. Loved that job, improving children's behavior, you know, and social skills, behavior modification. While I was there, I realized that my students. Hold on one second, because I know this teapot. I'm filling up this teapot. It's making noise here. I'm making some tea. I noticed that the kids that were coming to the program, okay, it was for kids with behavior challenges and disorders. In UMDJ in Newark, I noticed that they couldn't read, they couldn't write, they couldn't spell. They acted out when it was time to do work. And I realized at the time that there was a correlation between kids acting out in the classroom, being distracted, and just overall behavior in the classroom, and their inability to function independently and do their work on their own and read and function on or above their grade level. So that became my mission. When I became a teacher, I decided to become a teacher so that I can help kids improve their behavior, focus, and their learning and grades at the same time. And now that's what I do in my tutoring coaching program. Years later, I've been doing this over 15, probably 20 years now. All right. So, last night, we started talking, and my student accused me of only taking mom's side. She said, Miss Sharita, no matter what it is, you always going to take mom's side. You always going to take mom's side. Now, first, I'll be honest. A little bit, I was happy that she came to that conclusion. First, I'll be honest. I was a little bit happy that she came to that conclusion, because we live in a world with so many mixed messages for kids, where the adults are telling kids not to listen to their moms or go against their moms or their moms are wrong. So much. It's overwhelming how many times these kids receive this message. Good morning, Denise. How are you? Happy Sunday to you, sis. How you doing this morning? We talking about my conversation with my girls last night, my students. It was good. It was so good that it lasted over 2 hours. And I told them, y'all know I love y'all because class ended 30 minutes ago, honey. Okay? And they started laughing. Right? Thank you. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're doing good. Right? So Denise, so last night, my student was like, you always going to side with our moms no matter what. Okay? And I was just saying, yeah, I'm happy she thinks that because I'm different. I'm different. I'm not a mom. When I first started working with moms, I speak to moms and connect with moms first. And we formed this bond, and I want to know what moms want their child to accomplish, what struggles they're having right now, what they think is getting in the way, what their biggest concerns are. And I'm here to alleviate that. And then when I start working with the kids, I build a strong bond with the kids, and I push them based off of what mom wants to accomplish and also what they want to accomplish and what I see is holding them back. But sometimes, especially if my students may feel like they want to keep getting around stuff, but Miss Reed won't let them, and I always make them take responsibility for their actions, and I don't allow no excuses. If they may feel like you siding with my mom. So I was glad she said that. I am different, but I told her, I said, you're not seeing the whole picture, honey. You're not seeing the whole picture. And then I said, well, give me an example of how Miss Sharita would side with mom automatically, right? And then she said, well, moms sometimes get up and they start yelling, and they be yelling for like 2 hours, over little stuff. It's just because it's one little thing on the floor that mom told you. Mom told me to pick up 2 hours ago when it's still there, and then she yelling, right? So then I'm like, wait, run that back. Run that back. So why she yelling? This is the question that I ask, okay? I want to know why she yelling in the first place. And I want my students to be able to see things from all angles and take responsibility for their actions, okay? And their part in this. I'm not like a lot of people out there be like, your mom was yelling and that was wrong. She should have done this. She should have done that. When I work with moms, we always work on this yelling because we know that when we get to the point we start yelling, our kids tune us out and they use that to avoid doing what we want them to do. So we always working on it, and we always working on self-care, but that ain't none of her business, all right? Okay? Grandma, I see my tea almost ready. I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all are taking care of yourself this morning, right? But my job is to get her to focus on, in the moment, what she doing that's causing all this yelling. So she stopped. See, she's not even thinking about it. She stopped and she thought about it. And she she yelling because I didn't pick it up. But moms, but they be yelling over it. And I said, honey, in this situation, your mom told you to pick something up, right? And she said, yeah. Okay, why do you do it? And now we got to go through that. And I said, and mom's talking about this and talking about this all the time, and you still didn't pick it up, that stuff might build up, and she might start yelling. But y'all kids want to not have to listen, so you concentrate on the fact that she yelling instead of what you were supposed to do, okay? And I'm looking at her like, and she's like, Miss Sharita, you know kids too well. She like, you know kids too well. To only have 2 children, how do you know kids too well? I'm like, because I've been doing this practically my whole life. I speak kid. I know what y'all be thinking. You thinking that if I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to pick it up. I don't feel like picking it up. And when she start yelling, I'm just going to concentrate on her yelling. It ain't about her yelling. What do you think you're supposed to be doing? What should you have done? She's like, okay, that's not a good example. I'm like, give me another one. Because in any example that she gives me of mom yelling, of mom, all this other stuff, we're going to still make sure she takes responsibility for her part. You understand what I'm saying? So I told her, I said, you're not seeing the big picture. When you look at me like I'm always taking mom's side and I'm not taking your side, it's not about that. I built a connection and work hard with my moms and also with the teachers, y'all teachers, and build a connection, because when y'all are growing, and this is why my students grow so fast, when y'all are growing and trying to overcome things and get to another level, it's a tough journey. And y'all be going against moms, you be arguing with teachers, you be doing this and doing that, right? And mom is not going to be by herself. And me and mom are going to connect and talk to each other so that you have a strong foundation, so you don't just go off all over here wild and do what you want to do and mess everything up. That we're always going to be standing together. But it's not just us standing together. You're supposed to stand with us too. So it's not just about me taking mom's. Yeah, I got mom's back. Yeah, you're not going to be able to come into my class and complain about mom when you're doing something you're not supposed to do, and then I just be like, yeah, your mom should do this and your mom should do. I'm never going to do that. You know what I'm saying? If I hear something that I think will help mom so that she's not yelling, or whatever the case, and we talk about it in our sessions privately, but I'm not going to undermine mom to my students. I will never do that. And there's a reason for that. That's not helping them grow. Okay? You can say your feelings, but if you focusing on mom yelling and not on the fact that you didn't listen to mom, or in another case you was disrespecting mom and you felt like it was okay, and she said, if mom starts yelling at me, it make me not want to do it. I'm like, honey, you say that all the time, and you already don't want to do it. She started laughing. I'm like, you already don't want to do it. Let me grab my tea bag. I done ran out of my tea. I like the green tea and the loose leaf. I done ran out, honey. So I'm just using what I got from the supermarket. They gave out some free samples. I got to order my tea. I'm feeling like chamomile today. I'm feeling actually, I have, hold on now. Wait a minute. I ain't got to do that. I have some chamomile flowers right here. I can still make it a little homemade today. Okay. Yeah, that's what. So when kids looking at me or looking at adults who they feel like are defending their mom and taking mom's side, it's not about size. Our children, we need to get back to when we're teaching our children to listen to their mothers and respect their mothers. It's a harsh world out here, okay? We cannot keep allowing the outside world and people who don't have your child's best interests at heart and not there for the long haul. They just saying stuff because it sounds good to them, but they're not in your shoes. We got to stop letting those people build wedges between us and our children. We need to stop letting those people put ideas in our head, that in our children's heads, that will have them stuck, staying in the same place, blaming everybody else, blaming you for everything, and not taking their own responsibility for what they're supposed to do, and not, having action. So I told her, because she hear from other adults, that she be right. If her mama tell her to do something and she don't want to listen, and she want to argue with her mom, she hear from other adults that she was right, because her feelings are valid, and blah, blah, blah. You ain't going to hear that from me. You're not going to hear that from me. If you say to me, well, it's because of the way my mom talked. If she was to say it nicer, then I would listen. If she was to say it nicer, then that make me want to do it. But as soon as she start yelling, I don't want to do it. That's completely not taking responsibility for what you're supposed to be doing. Completely. And I also worked with them last night to get them to understand that your mother is a woman. She's a person. You don't know how many times moms be upset and cry. I talked to hundreds of moms over the years crying on the phone because they want what's best for their kids and how much they love them and how stressful it is. And you have no idea. Your mom is a woman. She's a person. So you want to fight with your mom over little stuff all the time, that's affecting her too. You have to take responsibility for your part so that if you want the yelling to stop, okay? Denise, I needed this. Thank you. Current situation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You know I love you, Denise, and I love your girl too. That I understand because I'm a mom and I've been through it. And I told her it was two girls last night. I said, honey, I'm about to get on the plane right now and go get your mom and take her to the spa and be like, nah, let her be by herself and think about her own choices. Let's go to the spa. She's like, I'm coming too. I said, no, you're not. We trying to get away from you. How we trying to get away from you? You show up. If you show up at that spa, we gonna be like, how she get in here? She was laughing like, you keep that nonsense to yourself, girl. Cause you know you wrong. You can't be wrong when to argue with your mom and then criticize your mom when she yelled at you. Come on now. Come on now, take responsibility. Okay, that is not okay. I'm not about to do that. And I've been through that with my oldest daughter for years, honey. I had goals. This is why I'm so passionate about what I do. This is why I work so hard for my families. Because I know these kids have greatness inside of them. And when you push your kids, people on the outside, and they want to fight you back, and they want to follow rules, they want to listen. Adults from the outside will be standing back watching you and criticizing you in front of your own child. And have your child hear that? Absolutely not. And then your kids may think they have a right to be acting the way they do. No, you don't. You mean to tell me you're going to keep behaving this way and thinking this way for the rest of your life? For how long? That's how I talk to them. How long are you going to keep thinking this way and behaving this way? For how long? You have greatness inside of you. I see it. You are a champion. But you're not nurturing that greatness. And you're not growing yourself because you're too busy blaming your mother for everything. And cause it a problem to be able to blame your mom for everything. So you don't have to move forward. And when I tell you they was quiet and thinking, the silence in that room. It's a virtual room, but we get it in. I'm online, y'all. But my babies know I love them, and they know, and we get it in, okay? And it's the same students that will be fighting. Oh, that's good. Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I love me some tea, y'all. That's the same students that be fighting me, and then we be having conversation like this, and then these become the most loyal students and the ones that want to spend time with me the most. We over there. The class is 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's 9:30. We about to hang up, y'all. This is going on too long. I told them a new student is coming. I just talked to a mom. We got a new student coming. They both got an attitude. They feel, what's wrong with you guys? Miss Sheree, we don't want to share you. So that I'm saying all this to say I am the toughest, probably most likely the toughest person that my students have to deal with, have ever dealt with. Okay? This is the first time they encounter somebody that's going to really get in their face and make them take responsibility. That's not going to feel sorry for them. Not going to allow them to have excuses. I'm the first person that they encounter like this. But they need it and they want it. And as much as they fight, they still need it and want it. They want that structure. They want that growth. And when they start to experience it, they become loyal. They absolutely do. I talk to them and I'm like, look, I want y'all to start to look at your mom. I asked them, um, as far as growing yourself, you said you've grown, and you always fighting against rules, fighting against structure. But do you want to give that up? Do you want to give up the structure? And you want to have no structure and no rules? And one of my students is like, nah, I want this structure, because if I don't have these structure and these rules, all this growth, she's talking about the growth that she's had, she's accomplished over the last months. All this growth will go down the tube. It'll go down the drain. I said, well, I got 2 pieces of advice for you. Okay? 1, start to see your mother as a woman. The relationships between mothers and daughters is very complex, and it's difficult. I have 2 girls, I know. Okay? Because when teenagers are growing up, and we know this, we're looking at our mothers and we see ourselves, but we're trying to learn who we are and how we want to move about in this world. And teenage girls will look at their moms, and they will be critical of their moms and talking about, use their moms as a measurement of what I'm not going to be like this. I'm not going to be like her. I'm not going to do what she do. When I have a child, I'm going to do this and that. And one of my students said last night, when I have a daughter, I'm not going to be one of those strict moms. I'm going to let my child have more freedom. I'm not going to be one of them yelling moms. I'm not going to do this and that. I said, all those moms said the same thing when you was your age. I had to sip tea on that, like the frog be doing. All us moms said the same thing. But when you get older and you realize that your child needs structure, you're responsible for this baby, and you want them to grow, you gotta make some tough decisions. And then I asked them the moneymaker question. I said, so when y'all get older, let's fast forward. Would you want your daughter to behave towards you like you do with your mom right now? This is what I get. Oh, I'm not having no kids. I'm not having no kids. And the other one said, I'm just have boys. And I'm like, why? Well, because I can't deal with girls because I know how I am. I said, So if you wouldn't want your own daughter to be mouthing off at your mother, mouthing off at you, not wanting to listen, having an attitude, why is it okay for you to do that with your mother right now? It's not okay. That's what they said. It's not okay. And then one of my students, I was proud of her, and this is the growth moment, and this is what you want kids to do. You want kids to start thinking for themselves and making decisions. I didn't tell her this. She said, I need to start. And then she's like, I'm going to write this down as a goal, okay? Because my students become goal and achievement oriented. Whenever there's something that they need to work on, we call it a goal. They write it down. It's a new goal. So she made her own goal last night. She's like, I need to start doing stuff that I'm supposed to do before my mom have to say anything. Yes. That's excellent. Good job, girl. I'm so proud of you. That's maturity. And that's how I had to talk to them last night. Like, I don't know if y'all could do this right now. Do you think you can? Do you think you're mature enough right now to start to see your mother as a person? And instead of fighting her so much, like, let her lead you, because she has grown woman experience that you're going to need as you get older. And grown people hire coaches all the time so we can get to the next level. Why y'all think y'all don't need nobody? Why would you think you don't need nobody right now? You got it all figured out. But she said that, and she wrote that down, so that's her new goal, and I'm going to add that to her action plan. It came from her. Let me just do it, because before, earlier in this conversation, you remember earlier we was talking, us right now, she was blaming her mom for hollering, and saying her mom is wrong for yelling, just because there's one little thing on the floor that she told her to pick up 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago? What you waiting for? What you mean 2 hours ago? Sunday, my intention today was to just be happy and be at peace. And this chamomile tea right here, yeah, it's doing it. It's doing it, y'all. Hope y'all having a beautiful Sunday. But that's my advice too, is get you somewhere in your corner. Cause I wish I had this when I was younger. I was a young mom. Now I'm 43 years old. I'm old. Okay. There's definitely some gray hairs under this scarf right here. But I was 27 when I had my first child, and I was a young mom. Had ideas. Because I'm very goal and achievement oriented. So I have goals for myself constantly. And I tell my students, I'm not doing this judging you. Like, I do this all the time. I'm always like, how do I get to the next level? What do I need to change about myself? Was that a good choice? Or should I do something different? What will I do next time? And I be writing stuff out. This is my life, honey. So I'm teaching you the same thing I do for myself. So I was a young girl, and I had ideas and standards for my own child. And I let the outside world, because I was weak, y'all. I wasn't sure of myself, okay? I was weak. I let the outside world dictate and make me feel inadequate and make me feel like I was wrong for wanting my child, for pushing my child. When I got older, she says, "You're not old. We had our kids at the same age." Oh, yeah? Yeah. Same club, huh, Denise? Right? But when I was older, y'all, I was like, forget this mess. I'm gonna do what I need to do as a mother. I ain't worried about everybody else. That came with age. That came with wisdom. That came with experience. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm their mother. And we're raising our children differently now. And I'm much more confident in myself as a mom. Like, I'm okay with making mistakes, but it's growth. I'm not trying to be perfect. I ain't perfect. I'm just trying to get better every day. That's what we do here at the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. We figure stuff out as we go along. There's no handbook. There's no hack, parenting hack. There's no method. That's what I believe, y'all. There's only getting in tune with our children, following our mother's intuition, looking at them, and figuring things out as we go along with the intention of having them grow. Be safe and grow. Not just be safe and be cared for, but grow and function independently and become champions. That's what we do here. And it shows in our youngest daughter, who's 5 years old. I taught her to be independent at a very young age. She is in kindergarten, and they're testing her for gifted and talented. We went to a meeting at her school because she got hurt at school with a toy. A boy scratched her eye with a toy. Found out later it was an accident, but there was some miscommunication, okay? So me and my husband we rolled up deep to that school, y'all. It turned out okay, all right? But she had to go to the emergency room. We was both nervous, worried, but it healed very quickly. Because my husband had to sleep alone for a couple of days because I was just in the living room with her, camped out on the couch. Every 6 hours, she had to get the eye drops. And me and my other daughter, Jazzy, my oldest daughter, making tea. We were taking care of her. I was sleeping with her. A lot of sleeping, put an eye patch. My husband got her an eye patch. And she wore that for a couple of days. There was a lot of healing going on while that was going on. The first night, she was in a lot of pain. The next night, she was feeling a little better. And then after that, she was feeling... And I kept checking her eye. And then the scratch would just go. It was a fat scratch, as the doctor in the ER said. She's doing good now. But while we were there, it was like 15 minutes talking about the incident and getting down to the brass tactics. Okay? And like 45 minutes of them just singing Maya's praises, talking about how smart she is, how funny she is, how she talks to everybody in the school, how she's like the mayor of the school, how advanced she is. They suggested I get her into acting because of the way she is and how she expresses herself. They asked me if she was in dance, and I told them yes. Okay. And then I asked them about skipping her because Maya's reading is the best I've ever seen a 5-year-old. And that's because when I was teaching my students, and the way that I teach my students, like, no matter what age you are, if you don't know how to read, you learn how to read very quickly. So she was looking over my shoulder. She was a little cheerleader in the program. She was too young to be in the program. She's only 3. And they have to be at least 4. But she was in every class, paying attention to my reading strategies. I'm trying to teach a kid how to read. She over here giving the answer in the background. I gotta tell her, get out the room. You know what I'm saying? At 3 years old. So now we were reading a 4th grade level story yesterday, and she was reading through those words. There's a word in there, interesting. She's 5 years old, she read it. I was working with my new administrative assistant, Hannah, and the word was opportunity on the screen, and she read it. 5 years old, 5 years old. So when I was a young mother, I was trying to push, and I was trying to get the school and the teachers to push and understand that my daughter was advanced, because I started teaching Jazzy before she went to preschool. She knew how to read, write, and do math. But they didn't want to hear me. They didn't want to hear me. It was very tough, and it was very tough for people to see how good she was. And I needed them to not only see how good she was, how smart she was, but also to push her to have high standards. They had low standards, and that wasn't a good mix. But now they are recommending, they said they don't skip kids anymore, but she will be tested for gifted and talented. The principal said that she's going to talk to the gifted and talented teacher about Maya, okay? They sent home a reading program for the summer that you can enroll your kids into. There's for kindergarten kids, 1st grade, and then there's 2 to 5. And I called and talked to them to get Maya in that 2 to 5 group. And they're going to put her in 2nd grade. She's going to 1st, but they're going to put her in the 2nd grade group. And they said that if the teacher feels like she's too advanced for that group, then she will put her into 3rd. But because she's so young, she's still 5, she recommends starting in 2nd grade. That all came from me being confident enough to just do what I feel like I need to do as a mom. And I ain't worried about what the outside world think. And the principal said to me last night, in case any moms out there feel like you shouldn't be pushing your kids, or people are telling you push your kids too hard, if any moms out there feel like that principal said to me and my husband sitting there, she said, it shows what you're doing at home, and keep pushing your daughter. Don't stop. Keep pushing her. So I'm telling you, I'm not just hearing it from me. You're also hearing it from the principal of my daughter's school. When you push your child, there's always going to be resistance. Your child might complain, and if you have adults around there that will nurture that mess, you know what I mean, and pump them up and make them feel like they valid, replace them with somebody in your corner that's going to be like, you better than that. Stop making excuses. And listen to your mother and respect your mother. We need more of that, because this tearing away of kids from their mothers that happens today, and teaching kids to go against their moms and not listen to their moms, and their mom's wrong and their mom's so old-fashioned, all this criticizing. We need to stop this mess. We need to support moms, and we need to provide guidance. Can you imagine? Hey, Hannah! She's talking about you. Hannah's here, y'all. She's a new administrative assistant for Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. And she's responsible for the logo that was just created. That was actually my husband's idea, the concept, and she created it. She's amazing, and she does a lot of amazing things here. Welcome, Hannah. Welcome. Yeah, so I forgot what I was talking, but it'll come back. So yeah, the outside world is really pushing for separation and having kids focus on social media more, focus on their devices more, and instead of them working hard and listening to their parents. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Can you imagine what this world would be like if all the adults encourage kids to listen to their mothers and be respectful of their mothers. Can you imagine? And their teachers. Actually, so I shared this to my page a long time ago, where Shaq, I love Shaq because when he sees kids, the way he interacts with kids, I love. And he was talking to one of the little kids, he was leaving, and he said, always listen to your mom and respect. He said, respect your mom, respect your parents, and listen to your teachers, all right? All of us adults are supposed to be talking to kids like that. But a lot of adults are running around here, and the kids are complaining and not doing what they're supposed to do and failing. And they're saying, if your teacher did this, you would be doing well. And your mom shouldn't be yelling, and that's abuse. Too many. And I'm not saying there aren't bad things that's happening in this world, but overwhelmingly, the message we're sending to our kids is allowing them to think they don't have to listen to their moms or their teachers. That's just not happening here. We don't do that. We absolutely don't do that. This is a harsh world out here. And when a child is separated from their foundation, I mean, I told my students this last night. It was a girl talk. No boys were there. It was just us girls talking. And I'm like, you think that your mom doesn't know you? I said, but when you are created, I said, your mom in your mom's womb, those eyes, those eyebrows, that nose, those ears, those fingernails were created beautifully inside your mom's womb. There is a connection, there's an energy, there's a spiritual connection between you and your mother that nobody can replace. Y'all too young to understand this right now. But there's a strong connection between you and your mother that is very strong. Nobody can explain it, nobody can replace. I said, and if your moms didn't love you, and if your moms didn't care strongly about you, then they would have never called me. Okay? They would have never called me to put you in this program and pay for you to be in this program. And then they start talking. He's like, yeah, because Miss Sheree don't do this for free. I said, no, I don't. He said, Miss Sheree don't do this for free. So yeah, our moms have to pay for this. I'm like, and how do you show your appreciation? I get them thinking, y'all. I get them thinking. So when she was saying you always take the sides of our mom, by the end of the conversation, like I said, she changed what she was saying, and she understood that we all working together and we're your foundation. Me, your mom, and your teacher, okay? Because some of y'all go to school with a teacher and you present one way and they'll never know that you're giving your mom a hard time at home, or vice versa. I said, because Miss Sheree will be talking to everybody. She said, you mean you be knowing what I do? Your mom and my mom be texting? I'm like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. You ain't gonna come up in here faking the fun. I know what you be doing. But by the end of the conversation, she had created a new goal for herself to do what she's supposed to do before her mom has to tell her. That's an excellent goal. That's taking initiative. So, and that's going from the bottom where your mom told you to do it 2 hours ago. You didn't do it. And now mom is yelling. You blaming mom and saying, that make me not want to do it. Honey, you already wasn't supposed to do it. That's not taking responsibility. To take a responsibility, you're going to get so good at it that you're going to do it before your mom even has to say anything. So you've raised the standard for yourself, and you've eliminated the yelling. These kids have the power to change their own situation. They do. We have to give them more credit than what we give them. We have to stop letting them off the hook. We have to stop letting them make excuses. Okay? And we really got to stop letting them blame their mothers for everything. And thinking they right and justified. We got to really stop letting them do that. In any situation, I don't care what it is, I'm going to get my students to take responsibility for their actions. And teach them that their moms are human beings. Their moms are people. And If your mom is yelling every day and frustrated about things that you are doing, and it's building up every single day, she's saying the same thing, you ignore her, give her attitude, who not gonna yell? So they supposed to every day not listen to them, disrespect them, have an attitude every day, and they supposed to be. What would you like? Okay, please pick that up. I'm telling you from experience. Like, I know I look real silly right now, but that's what I did last night with them when they was laughing. I'm telling you from experience. I've tried that as a mother. I know a lot of y'all out there be blaming yourselves and saying, and the reason I know is because I hear it in the conversations when I do the consultations with moms. I've heard we've done hundreds of consultations and hearing the same thing. The moms are like, I know we're not supposed to yell at our kids. I know we're not supposed to pop our kids. I know we're not supposed to. I know we're not supposed to. And if I didn't yell, then maybe she would listen. I've tried that as a mother. I've tried to say it the right way. And I told them, I said, the only thing y'all kids do is y'all adapt to that. Okay? And you still don't listen. Because the problem isn't that your mom is yelling. The problem is that you decided you don't want to do it and you're trying to get out of it. That's what she said. Miss Sharita, you know kids. You know us kids too well. To only have 2 children, you know us kids too well. That's what she said. Like, that's all y'all just gonna adapt to that. Kids be watching us. We try different technique, something we heard or read, or somebody suggested to social media to try to get them to do what they supposed to do. They see the shift and the change, and they adapt to it. And they decide to still stay there and not listen. Unless that strategy puts the responsibility on them, removes us from being wrapped up in their behavior cycle, and with some self-care attached to ourselves so we don't get too frustrated and get roped back in. That's the combination that I've learned over the years that's foolproof. It works. When that happens, then that's when that behavior stops. Because they have to deal with themselves, they have to deal with the consequence of what they're doing, and they don't have you to go back and forth and be arguing with and complaining about or make you feel guilty because you've given them a consequence or took away something. All that mess is eliminated. So they have to themselves just do what they're supposed to do. That's when that behavior gets eliminated. But if they get the impression, this is what mom is doing to help me do what I'm supposed to do. This is what the teachers are doing to help me because I can't read. This is what the aide is doing to help me because I can't write. This is what enough help. Enough help. Set up the structure, raise the standards, equip them, back up, expect them to do it. That's when we see growth. And moms out there need support. I wish I had that years ago. Things would have went a lot different for me and my family. If years ago I had somebody that had my back while I was trying to figure my own self out and grow myself, but did not undermine me and made sure that my daughter understood that we're on the same page and she has to do what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to listen. If I tell her to clean up her room, she's supposed to clean up her room. If I tell her it's time to sit down and do your homework, that's what she's supposed to do. And that period, what that's it. It don't matter if she don't want to do it. No matter if she want to cry about it. It don't matter if she do what you're supposed to do. And if somebody was to pull me, kidnap me, because that's what I said to my students last night. One of my students, we was talking about her mom, and I was like, God, I'm about to get on a plane, go to your house and kidnap her. I said, if you in the middle of arguing with your mom, and you see Miss Sharita come through the window and go over there and take your mom by the arm and be like, let's go, sis, we going to the spa. Okay? Don't argue with her, because she still got to do what she needs to do, and she taking all your energy right now. If you see that happen, that's what it is. That's what she's like, I'm going with y'all. To spot, I'm going with y'all. No, you're not. You're not allowed. Okay? You're going to stay there with your own mess. I wish I had somebody that pulled me out. Because I devoted everything. I stayed trying to figure out how to help my daughter and what to give her. And the more I gave, and the more I gave of myself, the more I lost of myself. And the more I gave to her, the further away we were of her starting to grow. Because I took 100% responsibility for what she was supposed to be doing. I'll give you an example. My daughter wanted to be on the honor roll. And one year, she walked past, this class walked past the cafeteria. They were doing a brunch for the honor roll students. And she wanted to be in it. So then I was like, okay. So the way I was as a mental health specialist, special education teacher, I always put the responsibility on my students and ask them, how you going to accomplish it? So I started out like that. Like, how you going to do that? How you going to accomplish that? And she started crying. And when she started crying, when I tell you I melted down, I broke down, it was like butter melting in the pot and it just sliding off. It was like, I couldn't stand to see her cry. So I just held her. And then I made the worst mistake possible, y'all. I made a lot of mistakes as a mom. I said, don't worry. I'll make your own brunch for you. We can invite your friends. That was the worst mistake I could have possibly made. Later on, I realized I shouldn't have done that, and I ended up not doing it. But right then, I should have just encouraged her and required her to do what she has to do so she can go on honor roll. We should have made that a goal. But instead, I basically told her, you don't have to work hard at school and figure out how to get on the honor roll. Don't worry about it. I know you wanted to brunch. I'm just going to create the brunch for you. I wish I had somebody there for me to talk to and be like, what you doing? I wish. And I wish I had somebody to kidnap me because I never went nowhere. Okay? And I was depressed. I was stressed. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't sleeping. I went to bed thinking about what my daughter needed. I woke up in the morning thinking about what my daughter needed. I did that all the time while she was in school. I was in the house just thinking about what I needed to do and how to get her to the next level or how to make her do this and do that. I mean, I was bugging. Now my oldest daughter, I developed self-care, and this is why I always talk to y'all about having self-care for yourselves. And this is why I talk to my moms all the time about this in the consultations in our sessions. I always checking on you. What are you doing for self-care? You been taking care of yourself? What are you doing? What are you doing? But this is why I started doing videos about it so that y'all can see what I'm actually doing. That I'm not just talking about it. I'm going through it with you. I've come a long way with my self-care. I really didn't take care of myself before. And that is really a part of what helped me grow as a mother and grow out of that needing to just give everything and solve everything and do everything for my daughter. And instead, have her be responsible and function independently. That's when my older daughter started to grow. And that's why Maya is doing so well. So it's never too late to turn it around. Again, I'm not a regular teacher. I'm not a therapist. I do have a background in mental health. I was a mental health specialist. I work with therapists at UMD and J in Newark, my old stomping ground. Newark is my birthplace. All right? And then I was a teacher, a special education teacher in Newark as well. Okay? But I'm not a therapist. I've never been. Okay? And I'm not someone who will, and I can't anyway, but push medication. That's not who I am either. I'm all about kids taking responsibility for their actions so that they could grow and realize how great they are and be so excited about their growth. Like, oh, I got it right. I did that. Guess what I did, Miss Sharita? I did this. I solved that problem. You go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm about. But I will never, because of my own experience, undermine a mom in front of one of my students. So yes, I do have their mom's back. And it's not about taking sides. It's about, I'm going to stick with mom on this so that you can take responsibility for your actions and grow. So that means I'm on your side too. Because if I didn't care, it's easy for me to just say, yeah, if your mom was yelling, I understand how you didn't want to do what she told you to do. No. Then how you gonna grow? You keep doing the same nonsense every day. Now I'm gonna get in your face about this so that you can stop this mess and improve your life. You gonna not improve your life and do the same thing and keep blaming your mom for the rest of your life? And then become an adult and now you're not functioning independently and you struggling because you still have mess that you should have conquered as a child, as a teenager? How is that helping you? No, Miss Rita always gonna give it to you real. Real deal Holyfield. Hey Lisa, good morning. I'm always gonna give it to you real. Said the end, I never said, no I don't. I'm on your side, I never said that. And my students know. But it's wonderful that they feel like they can say that to me. It's wonderful, okay? That they feel like they can talk to me. And one of my students said to me the other day, and this is another way, with the moms, me being close to moms and having moms back. And my students still want to talk to me, even though he said, Miss Rita, I'm gonna tell you something, but can you not tell my mom? I'm like, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. It's not gonna happen. That's not me. But they know. But she still told me anyway. Okay, because she wanted to grow in that moment. But I'm not going to keep secrets from my students' moms. I'm never going to do that. We all in this together, honey. Okay? It turned out she was supposed to be doing something, but she was doing something else she had no business. Right? No, I'm not going to not tell your mom. I'm not going to keep secrets from your mom. We don't do that here. We all in this together. So that's what they feel. They may feel like I take their mom's side all the time because I chop down their excuses with an axe, honey. Chop, chop, chop. I don't play that. They might do that, or they might want somewhere that they can come and vent about their moms. This is not the place for you to vent about your mom and talk mess about your mom and for me to be like, yeah, I understand. No, this is not the place for that. I'm not going to allow you to come here and do that. We're going to get to the source of the problem. And you're going to focus on what you need to do to grow so that you can improve the relationship with your mother. That's what we do here. Okay? So yeah, if some of y'all think that my students should be able to come to me and for me to take their side, those are your thoughts, you know. I respect your opinions, but they're not mine. For moms, I know there's out in the world, there's a lot of different, you know what I mean, schools that allow kids to do different things and keep things from their parents. I don't do that. You're not going to do that. I got mom's back, which means I got your back, because if your mom's foundation is strong, and she's taking very good care of herself. And what she wants to accomplish for you, somebody actually cares about. And somebody's going to hold you accountable. Even if mom is yelling all the time. Even if mom's yelling and cussing all the time. Even that now gives her some support. So that she can grow herself and not be so stressed to get that stress off. But that ain't going to happen if I'm just taking kids' side and criticizing their mom along with them and allowing them to continue this behavior that's destructive to them and their mothers. So I don't do it that way. I don't do it that way. I put that structure in place for my students. I have high expectations for them. They have to respect their mom. They have to, they come in and be like, she, and I'm like, who is she? My mom? Okay, I need you to say your mom. I teach them that. And meanwhile, while I'm with mom, I'm building her up. Because I didn't have somebody to build me up. I had to do it myself. But I know that I became a better mom, 10,000 times better. Once I built up my own self-confidence, once I felt strong and I built up my foundation and I trusted my mom's intuition, I know that I was better, 10,000 times better as a mom. And also my girls are better. So I got y'all back, all right? I got y'all back. And what I want you to do is, when you get off of this live, when you finish watching this live, I want you to write down 10 things you want your child to get better at. I've done this, y'all. Everything I'm saying to y'all, I've done myself. Okay? It might not be everything that that a therapist would do or a teacher would do. You know what I mean? But it's what I've done as a mom. And I combine my mental health experience. What works, what I feel doesn't work, we don't need. I've combined that and my teacher experience and my mom experience to deliver to you what I'm delivering to you today. Write down 10 things you want your child to accomplish. Okay? And write down 10 things you want to do to take care of yourself for your own growth. Mind, body, and spirit. And get to working on them. Get to working on them. And know you have the right as a mom to have expectations and standards for your child. Hey, Miss Darnett. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Can't wait to see my champion. Starting on Saturday. I can't wait. You have the right as a mom to want your child to accomplish things and have standards. If your child is on the game all day and don't want to do the chores, you have the right to expect them to clean up. If you feel like it's good for them to build some self-discipline, or you want them to go out there and work in that yard and clean up, you have that right. If you want to drive your child to a park and say, I want you to run laps around this track right here, because they've been in the house lazy and not listening and don't want to do nothing, don't want to do what they supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. You have that right. You have that right. What happens when we exercise? You know, it's so good for our bodies. They need it. What happens when we work out in the fresh air in the sun? They need it. Okay? So they may be resisting. They may put up a big fuss. That big fuss attracts people and like, oh, mom's being too harsh and this is not a good mom. And what she should do is everybody give part-time parenting opinions. Man, we don't worry about that mess. We don't worry about that mess. We do what we feel is best for our children. Because I've done that. Somebody might think it's 4 years old. Your child's 4 years old and she know how to get her own clothes ready for the next day, and she know how to pick out her snack and write, you know what I mean, and write her name on the bag and put it in her book bag, you know, and I'm just supervising everything. She's only 4. Let her play. But this girl, she's in school being amazing because she learned self-confidence. She listens to affirmations every night. It's on YouTube. That's part of her nighttime routine. Put on those kid affirmations, and she goes to sleep. And she wants to hear it before she goes to sleep every night. She's just a kid. No, she plays. She has a great time playing. She does a lot of imaginative play. She does this and that. But she also learned at a young age work ethic. And she's learning about making good choices, taking responsibility for her actions at a young age. And that's what I decided. So that's what it is. Okay? Hey, Tamika. That's what I decided, and that's what it is. And this is why, like I said, the title of this is my student accused me. You have to do hashtag replay on this, Tamika. My student accused me of always taking her mom's side. But this is why. Moms, we are so important in the growth of our children, which means we are so important in the growth of everybody's children, which means we are so important in the growth of learning and behavior in the classrooms. It starts with us. It really does. Because when we can improve our children's behavior and learning from home and teach them to have a self-party, right? What's a self-party? Self-discipline, self-motivation, self-accountability, self-control, self-awareness. We teach them to have a self-party, and they start to grow in all these areas, and we send them to school equipped for success. Now they are a leader in the classroom, and that affects the whole classroom. One of my students, I did a teacher conference, do teacher conference for my students, and she was saying, my student is student of the week every week. She said, I feel bad giving it to her every week, but she's just doing so well. And I use her as the measurement of what, everybody should do. I'm like, everybody, you see what? And then she said my student's name. How she's sitting, that's how I want everybody to sit. You see how she's sitting in line? That's how I want everybody to sit in line. You know how good that is for students? I think Maya's up. Hi, baby. Hi. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
How'd you sleep?
Good.
You ready for a good day?
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. What day is it?
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. Maya's up. We had a nice little talk. I intended on getting on here for just a few minutes, y'all, but we had a nice little talk. I wanted to talk to y'all before everybody got up, before my kids got up, but Maya just woke up. So I'm going to go now and be mom. Get her together. Then I still going to go upstairs to do my yoga and walk on the treadmill, because I'm doing a 7-day challenge. I got a little treadmill. I think it costs like $200 from Amazon.
What?
Yeah, Maya asked if she could walk on the treadmill. Somebody let her do that today. I might let you do that. She's celebrating. Yay! So
I
I'm
really
gonna
want to try. I'm excited. I want to try.
You excited? Yeah. I really want to make sure. You want to say hi? Come on, say hi.
Good morning.
It's my little mini-me. She is in kindergarten, but she's reading a 4th grade level story.
And
right?
I'm going to go to my mommy college.
Oh, yes, the program that I got her into a 2nd grade classroom, her spot is already ready. She starts in July. Is at my college where I went to in Rutgers University.
July 3rd is my birthday.
Yes, and you are turned 6. Right? Woo woo! Yes. They're testing her for gifted and talented. She's mixed, but she's very independent, and she learned how to do a lot of stuff herself, and she has chores. She helps clean up and stuff, right?
And I wash the dishes sometimes.
She started doing that like at 4 years old without me even asking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she really is washing these dishes. She takes initiative, okay? Miss Tamika said, good morning, sweet girl.
Good morning.
Right? So she's and from a young age, y'all, I wasn't playing this time around. And your children grow. You understand what I'm saying?
And then me and my mommy made cake in the bowl.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, as a little treat for how good she cleaned her room up and organized her room. I'm so surprised she was able to do it like that. I said, there's this little recipe where you can make cake in a bowl and put it in the microwave. Now, I'm a from scratch girl, making everything from scratch and using the oven. So that's not even my stilo, but it was something quick. And she followed me. This is good for following directions, too. So if you want to do this with your kids, get that recipe and have them read the recipe, right? You can print it out or watch the video. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. Watch what I do. I'm going to do it in mine, and then you do it in yours.
And then mine was kind of soft.
Yeah, it was kind of soft. We added some chocolate chips to it, right? But this was something, she was following directions. I do it, that she do it. She was able to make her own cake in the bowl. It's supposed to be in a cup, but we used a bowl, a little bowl. She was able to make her own little cake. So there's tons of ways to get your child engaged and to have them learn new things all the time and do things on their own, function independently. and that's what we did, right? But I thank y'all, and if you see moms out there, start supporting moms. Start looking at the kids for what they need to do to grow to the next level instead of what do they want, and let them be a kid and just give them. Start having expectations for all the kids and start being a part of mom's foundation for kids so that you could be included in mom's growth and achievement team, honey. Because that's who I have for my kids, okay? I wish I had more, me and my husband really, and then one of their uncles, but I wish more people thought the way that we do when it comes to our children. But find them, okay? All right, love y'all. Have a beautiful morning. I'll be live next Saturday with Q&A, okay? Next Saturday at 12 o'clock p.m.
Who's that?
Q&A means question and answer.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll be live next Saturday, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Click like and click share so we can reach more moms. Love y'all so much. Have a...
Mommy.
What did I taste like?
Cake.
Oh, okay, good. Have a beautiful morning.
You smell like sugar.
I do. Miss Hannah was there too. Can you see her name? Let's see. Where? What do you see?
Hi.
What do you see right there? Read it.
I see break them on video.
Oh, bring them on a video. What else? What do you see right here? Whose name right there? Whose name?
Hannah.
Hannah what?
Gregorio.
Ah, very good. Hannah Gregorio. So you say hi to Miss Hannah?
Hi.
All right, love y'all. Help me say bye to everybody. Believe in yourself.
Believe in your child.
And always remember that growth is
unlimited. Bye.
peace.